Y'all get in here. Get in here. Welcome to the Empowerment Zone. Let's go.
Dr. Joe Griffin, a speaker, consultant, and author's intention is teaching and talk is to broaden their vision, the things they weren't taught when they brought up as children. I introduce you to Dr. Joe Griffin. It's Dr. Joe Griffin.
Get in here.
I introduce you to Dr. Joe Griffin, a speaker, consultant, and author's intention is teaching and talk is to broaden their vision, the things they weren't taught when they brought up as children. Reach for the top, regardless of situations, predicaments, or your conditions. He's making history all of the districts, increasing retention from teachers, 50 to 80%. They ain't all that you hear me. He is the mentor. He paved the way with his DIPP methodology. Really, dream, be persistent.
How y'all doing? Let's go. Let's
go. Go get it. This what you learning with Dr. Joe Griffin. With Dr. Joe Griffin. Yeah.
We got a good one on
He says
today,
recognize trauma, push past the pain. If you got a problem, go look at his frame. Work your perspective and look at it change. Find a goal, set it in critical thing. Manage time, self-awareness. These are the few of the things he's trying to get you to do every day. Do every day. Led 5 schools to increase test scores with his teacher principal collaboration. Things he give to you will have you take you drive to the next level. But first, you need to get some fuel at gas station. Supporting education leaders, creating a culture for kids that'll last for ages. Lack of access to quality professional development, that's outrageous. Got his doctorate in education. Leadership, research, make changes. Need to put the kids first and raise them. Need to teach them they worth, stop playing. Later on, they gon' run this nation. Dr. Joe with his dissertation. Taught to those who would fix, make changes. I introduce you to Dr. Joe Griffin, a speaker, consultant, and author's intentions to teaching and talk is to broaden their vision, the things they weren't taught when they brought up as children. Reach for the top, regardless of situations, predicaments, or your conditions. He's making history all of the districts, increasing retention from teachers, 50 to 80%. They know that you hear me. He is the mentor.
You hear me?
He paved the way with his DIPP methodology. Really, dream, be persistent, face fears, see change, go out and go get it. This what you learning with Dr. Joe Griffin. With Dr. Joe Griffin.
Yeah. Welcome to the Empowerment Zone, you all. How is everyone doing out there today? It's a great day to be alive. It's a great day to be here. It's a great day to have you in the midst. Definitely thankful each time you come in, each time you stream in and see what we have to talk about. We got a great professional development today, and I just want to say, first off, you all, I'm so thankful to be here, but thankful that you're here also, because I try to make sure we give you something valuable each and every week, and we're going to definitely do that today. We're going to talk today. We're going to go in depth, a little bit in depth than we have been in the past on some of these DIPP empowerment principles for any school community. Of course, I want to take you through that, give you some good examples of things that actionable strategies that you can actually implement this week toward the end after we go through our prelude, after we go through some of the empowerment principles that I'm speaking of, and then we'll come back and actually give you some of those strategies. Those strategies are going to be fire, you all, so you definitely want to hang around for that. We got a lot going on. And just thankful each and every day, each and every time. Want to definitely give a word of prayer, a moment of silence, or what have you. We got a lot going on in our world, y'all. We're just going to take 3 to 5 quick seconds, just because. Definitely warranted, always needed. We got to pray for our country, and we got to constantly put ourselves in a situation where we can, ultimately do something about it, because we can't just stand and be on the wayside forever. We got to get into action, and that's what it's about. It's hard living, so I want to definitely express condolences. We definitely got to scream their name. Brother Lacey down there in Baton Rouge, Brother Trey Reed out there in Mississippi, my home state as well. And look, we just got to pray. We got to stay prayed up. We got to stay together, you all. We got a good one today. This is October, you all, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. As always, I definitely have a big heart for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I always shout out my aunt, who's a survivor, Bobby Griffin. Love you, auntie. Appreciate you. Also, I lost an aunt-in-law also, my past uncle. His wife was not a survivor. And I also had a half sister who was eaten up by cancer herself. So, and it was at a point where we were starting to get close. So I'm definitely a breast cancer awareness month affiliate for life. So definitely want to continue to raise awareness with that because that's a touchy subject. Cancer is a deadly thing that's touched and affected so many lives. Okay. Also, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. You know, you see me in my purple today, but Domestic Violence Awareness Month, I also want to raise awareness for this as well. A lot of bad things have occurred through domestic violence, and it's something that we got to constantly be aware of. Don't want to ever be a participant in something of that nature. And when you see it, you know, you got to do something about it as well. So Breast Cancer Awareness Month, definitely want to shout out Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Also, you all, I want to quickly also just kind of before we get into our overview of the DIPP approach, just want to quickly tell you about what it consists of. DIPP Approach for Educator Success Manual, of course, the DIPP Approach for Student and Adult Success, which is an SEL curriculum, and of course, the Empower Education Communities, a guide for teacher principal collaboration. So you got your strategies with your DIPP Approach, you got your SEL with the curriculum and activities accompanying all of these, and then of course your Empowering Education Community. That's a professional learning book. I mean, it's designed to carry you and your team through everything you go through. Just like with the strategies, now you combine that with the mindset and the professional development that help build out that mindset. And remember that discipline culture, that's the collective way in which teachers and administrators work together to handle issues. And it's twofold, how that affects the instructional practice that teachers are willing and able to use. So it's always deeper than it appears to be with discipline culture and the DIPP approach. So we're gonna get ready to go into that here in a little bit. Before we do, I want to give you two quick testimonials, and then I'm gonna go into a prelude. Got Dr. Carla Jackson real quick.
Wonderful professional development. Dr. Griffin was exceptional at engaging the entire staff the entire time, because we all know that teachers and administrators are just like our students. So the DIPP approach is an excellent approach. I'm excited for this school year and to apply the things that we learn as professional development. Thank you, Dr. Griffin.
Yeah. Here's a brother here.
Dr. Griffin, because I came in thinking one thing and learned and expand my knowledge of just what DIPP was about. And I've been able, hopefully, I've been empowered and be able to implement all of these strategies and that I've gleaned from the activities that we've done today. Thanks a lot.
So that gives me so much energy to hear that type of effect that the DIPP approach can have on you and your educators. That's powerful stuff, you are. And I'm thankful to be in a position to give it out, because that's what we do every week. We come here to make sure you get what you need so you can have actionable solutions so that you can apply the principles within your school to be the best principals, teachers, leaders, educators that you need to be. So again, with that, I want to open up first off with a prelude, you all. Some viewpoints add depth to what we think we already know. I'm just going to let that sink there for a minute. Some viewpoints add depth to what we think we already know. So what you know, of course, you don't ever want to downplay that. It could take you far. It could take you far because you earn and learn that particular set of information. But how you use what you've learned, how you use it to grow, how you apply what you learn, right? That's where the power comes in. That's where the empowerment comes in, because it determines how far you actually take what you already know. That's why I say some viewpoints add depth to what we think we may already know. And we may already know it, true enough, but when we learn more we do more, we have an opportunity to enhance what we already are doing in our current situation, in our lives, in our schools, in our communities. You know, you can always be better. We can always improve. Just like you may have had great test scores, right? But what are you going to do to make sure and ensure that you keep that up? You can't keep doing the exact same things, right? You want to enhance those qualities, those practices, those procedures, those implementations that you're already doing. And the only way to do that is to add to what you already have learned so that you can be in a situation where you're not afraid to ask questions. You don't lose your authority. In spite of, you gain perspective. You gain perspective when you ask questions, when you get knowledge, when you go a step further and do something a little bit differently than you have currently done. So I just want to start you out with that piece. What you know will take you far, but how you use what you learn and how you grow from what you learn. That's where the power lies. Leadership, it doesn't happen until you become uncomfortable. That's the second point on this prelude. Leadership, it doesn't happen until you have become uncomfortable. So compliance, being compliant and just going along, of course, we've all been in a situation where that may have been the thing, but that's not where you want to live. That's not where you want your heart to reside. That's not where you, being the best educator that you can be, will allow you to stay. So you got to understand that leadership hadn't even occurred until you become uncomfortable. I'm going to say that one more time, because clarity, we always talk about clarity. I talk about clarity, accelerating speed, but you also have to build clarity. You have to build clarity. You got to put structures in place so that you can build upon that. And sometimes that could be uncomfortable. Sometimes that could put you in a space or a place where you don't quite understand what's happening within the leadership realm at that time. But I tell you, it's happening for a reason. It's happening for a reason. You were placed in that space. You were placed in that space for a reason. And ultimately, it's on you to understand that I'm not going to always be comfortable in leadership. Third point. Systems don't change. People change systems. Systems don't change. It's people that change systems. That's why you always hear me talk about people over programs. You always hear me talk about building relationships, giving that information to help people cross the line, get to the next step, to be their very best selves, to empower them. As a leader, as a teacher, as an educator, collaboration is built on that type of empowerment. Us understanding that people change the system. So no matter what system it is that you're using, whether it's an academic system, whether it's a cultural system, whatever system you have in place, it's the people that's going to make the change. No system work without the corresponding or matching mindset. No system work without the corresponding or matching mindset. So you got to have a mindset within that system that equates to you driving outcomes toward student achievement. That's powerful, you are. When you understand this part of it, now you can start taking your leadership, your teams, your school, your community to the next levels. Now you can be able to empower people to go above and beyond, like we know we want them to do, like we know we need them to do. Yeah. So understand that, number one, you got to allow yourself to grow. It's not about what you know, it's about how you allow yourself to grow. Leadership requires some uncomfortability, right? People don't change, systems don't change, people change systems, right? And we got to understand that every environment models how you act in it. Every environment models how you act in it. We talked about culture being how you live in your space. How you live in your space, your school, your community, your group, your home. all of that. So all those things play a part in us being able to understand that. Like I told you before, some viewpoints add depth to what we think we already know. And it's on us to be able to get that information. Let's go. Let's go, you all. I'm so fired up. I'm so fired up. And again, I'm so thankful. Make sure you sign in. Let me know where you're streaming in from. I see y'all are in here. I definitely appreciate you being in here because we work hard to give you some information each week. You know, it's not, see, we come here prepared. I make sure that I have everything lined up because I want to be a help. I want to be an assistance to what you're already doing in your school because I pay attention to the views. I understand that you're watching. I understand that. So I can't let you down. We're doing things for the right reason. We want to be dependable in making sure we put out good information that can enhance some of the things that we are already doing. Nobody has all the answers, but guess what? You might know a few people who can help you get to those answers, who can help you brainstorm on how to find those answers and how to implement those answers. That's the difference with the DIPP approach. We talk about implementations. We talk about real life strategies that you can use. Sure, we give you the principles, the philosophy as well, but I'm gonna always back that up with something you can implement today. When I come to today at the end of the live, I got 3 in-depth strategies that I'm gonna share with you today because I need you to have it. I need you to be able to push students and teachers to next levels of performance. Discipline culture plus instructional practice equals performance. I'm gonna give you a strategy for each of those areas because that's what we do. And we love what we do, you all. We love coming here every week, prepare for you, and just be able to help you out and be able to support what you're doing. Support what you're doing. Support what you're doing. I've been in that seat, so I understand that sometimes you just want to hear a different perspective. Sometimes you need that extra viewpoint that we're talking about. So one of the key principles in DIPP Empowerment is understanding that adult SEL leads to increased student achievement. Adult SEL leads to increased student achievement. If I've got my instructional faculty, my teachers, my leaders running on high with a high morale, feeling good about themselves and feeling good about what they're doing, and I'm providing them professional development to add to their competence of how they deliver instruction, we setting up for a powerful environment that we're not going to lose in. Adult SEL increases student achievement. There are studies, there are actual studies out there that tell you that SEL used with adults increases student achievement by 10 to 12%. So why would we want to create an environment that's not fruitful, where we can multiply and be great and where everyone can flourish in every single day? So adult SEL increases student achievement, and we've got to know that, right? It deepens the academic reach that we're able to get because you're caring about your people. Relationships come before anything else. We talk about making that connection all the time. Connection, empowerment, collaboration. It's steps in this process, and us being able to set that up where students can be successful. Ooh, that's power. You see, the next principle is not about control. It's about service. It's about service. So sometimes you might have to give up a little control in order to gain control. Sometimes when you're dealing with teachers, you may have to take in suggestions that you normally wouldn't have put in. But because you want to compromise, you want to collaborate, you want to show that you are willing to work with through others, you make that sacrifice. Remember, we talk about that sacrifice being inside of the commitment. That's part of what we're doing as educators. So understanding that in itself, that's going to add depth to what you're able to do as an educator. So again, know that it's not about power, but empowerment. You got to make sure you're putting people in a situation, in a space, in a place where they feel good about themselves, where they feel like they can work hard every single day, where they're not going to be bum rushed or tackled or ostracized for every little thing that they do, where they can be free, be themselves, and make sure students learn at high levels. That's a powerful, powerful spiritual place to be, because we connect our craft to what we do spiritually as well, because it's part of who we are. It's part of what we digging out of ourselves, because we trying to put it in somebody else, or allow them to pull out of themselves what's in them also. You got to inspire. As an educator, we must remember that it's our job to inspire other educators as well as students. It's not about manipulation, but instead it's about that inspiration, that inspirational piece. How are we going to set it up where we're going to get there? How are we going to set it up where you're going to be who you need to be? Well, I'm going to give you the information every single day, students, teachers. Well, I'm going to give you the professional development that you need where you can improve. That's classic. Now you're setting up a system for success. Now we're getting out of ourselves and we constantly thinking about those people that we serve. That's powerful, you all. That's powerful. When you walking around the school and you see your wall of wins, when you got a teacher collaboration board, and also in addition to that, a teacher celebration board, you got your student highlight boards, whether it's ACT, whether it's your subject area test, those kids that who grew the most on their test, whatever the case may be. It's important to understand that we create the environment in which we live. How we go about our daily tasks. That's going to determine what you get out of it as leaders and as teachers. So understand that, okay? When you're talking with your people, you got to talk to the potential and not the person. This is powerful. You got to talk to the potential. Where I want you to be. I'm talking to that. I'm not talking to where you are. If you're the student, I just don't see you making this mistake in the future. The way you spoke, it was totally out of line, but I see so much better for you. I know that you have a gracious way of speaking with people, and that's out of your character. So I believe that. And I'm going to leave it at that. You're talking to the potential. See, the person, you might want to tell the person something, but you talk to what you want them to be. Miss such and such, I know that you'll get at least 10% growth over the course of these next 6 weeks. I know this because I've got a feeling that you're going to put in the extra work and time necessary. And you're going to also bring in some of those extra resources that you know are going to help our students, who are going to benefit our students. So you're talking to the potential. It's not the purpose. And this is purposeful. This is on purpose. This is intentional conversation. This is not something that just somebody made up. This is how you want to talk daily to your people. You train yourself there. It has to be a mentality. It has to be something that you work on, practice on, live for, and that you're really about. That you really want to see your people do well. See, I've come to the thinking that there's a lot of people on your team that don't want to see you do well. There's a lot of people in the world already that don't want to see you do well or see us do well, but you can't let that stop anything. You got to still continue to do well, continue to improve, continue to put that message out there, continue to put people in situations where they can be successful. And we're talking about students, we're talking about teachers, we're talking about leaders. All of this matters, you all. So again, that's crucial, that's important. That's a few powerful principles that I want to definitely share with y'all, because we talk about discipline culture all the time. And I know it's probably not what you think it is. It's probably not what you thought it is. Discipline culture, it sets up where you can actually use high-yielding instructional practices. It decreases any penal or disciplinary action because we grow through collaboration. If I'm working with the teachers on all of our issues, that's student to student, student to adult, as well as the adult to adult issues, how your discipline not going to go down? Think about it. See, that's why the DIPP Approach has an edge. That's why I give you a sword where you can cut through some of that jibber jabber. Because it's going to give you systems. It's going to give you philosophy. It's going to put you in a place and a space where you're going to put kids in situations where they can be successful. Number one, because the instructional practices that go along with it boost performance. That's the difference. See, that's the difference, you all. We got a couple of comments in here. What we got? LinkedIn user, yes. Imagine aspiring students begins with showing them their voices and ideas matter. When we create an environment where curiosity is celebrated and mistakes are seen as part of growth, students discover their own potential. That's powerful. Thank you, Dr. Newman. It's raising about telling, it's about helping them see who they're capable of becoming. Yes, it's about talking to the potential. Thank you for that. We create the environment that either nurtures or hinders learning. Every choice we make, our tone, our expectation, our openness, they shape the space where students can grow. When we lead with care and intention, we give students the freedom to thrive. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Dr. Newman, for that input. You just can't make this up, you all. So when you knowing these, when you knowing this type of thing, it allows you to go that extra mile. It allows you to put in some extra work, sometimes without a problem, because you are committed to what you have going on. Now, I want to give you a couple of strategies, you all. I'm going to give you several strategies today, and I'm very happy to do so. I feel like it's my service. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to share. We're supposed to give. And I'm working in my vision. I'm working in my mission. So I have to. I feel like that's why I'm here, is to connect with and empower people. That's my mantra. That's what I live by. And no one's going to stop that. And I hope that you will continue to come in here like you have been, you all, because we provide that inspiration and that information so that you can make sure that your facilitation goes well. You heard me? Yes. So first implementation that I want to share with you today, and it directly involves discipline culture. Discipline culture, collaborative way, right? It's the collaborative way in which teachers and administrators work together to handle the issues. And I'm going to call this 2x10s. 2x10. Y'all know I'm primarily ELA, although I help all subjects. So I'm going with some numbers today for your strategies. 2x10s. You say, Dr. Joe, what in the world are you talking about? 2x10. And again, that's the difference. And how is it going to influence or impact my discipline culture? See, for so long, we told people what we want them to do, but we never tell them why it's important or how to implement it. We say, go do your best. But what does that mean? What does it mean when you tell somebody to go do their best? That looks different for different people. What does it start with? What do I need to do in order to make sure that I'm continuing to work toward being my best? So we're going to call them 2x10s. You're going to 2 minutes for 10 days in a row. You're going to make contact. This is at all 3 levels, you all. Let me talk to you. 2x10s. And why it impacts how we collaboratively work together to impact the instructional practice that teachers are willing to use. 2x10. If I'm making contact with you for 2 minutes, 10 days in a row, and that's whether I'm your superintendent down to your principal, right? Or whether I'm your principal to your teacher, or I'm from your teacher to my students. 2 minutes, 10 days in a row. You don't think we're going to build up our collaborative possibilities? If I'm putting this time into you and we're putting this time into each other, because I can't get your 2 minutes without you giving me your 2 minutes. I can't do that. That's not how that works. So when you think about that, that's going to immediately build up your collaborative process within your school. If I got a teacher who may not be on board, who's not hearing all of the information, I'm going to make contact with them. 2 minutes, 10 days in a row. And you might want to sharpen that down to 5 if that's too intense for you. I've been known to be intense. So, but 2x10s, powerful strategy to build up your collaborative processes in your school. Good evening, Dr. Houston. Good evening, Dr. Houston. Definitely appreciate you signing in. Always a pleasure. Thank you so much. Now we're going to give you an instructional practice. That was your discipline culture practice. What's discipline culture? I've said it 3 times. Collaborative way in which teachers and administrators work together, and how that impacts the instructional practice that teachers are willing to use, right? So discipline culture is not penal, as I've stated. It's not about leading with the hardest hand. It's not about ruling with an iron fist. No, it's about us working together so we can handle all the issues that we encounter. You're not on your own with anything within the DIPP approach. So when we think about that, now we want to get into an instructional practice that allows you to boost up and lead up to increased performance. And it's just a quick vocabulary strategy that you can use. 3 by 3 by 3s. 3 by 3 by 3s. What's that, Doc? What's a 3 by 3 by 3? All right, I'll tell you what a 3 by 3 by 3 is. So we're going to have our vocabulary words, whether it's hopefully going to be tier 2 or tier 3 words first off, not your basic words. You know, of course, you're going to have to go over your basic words, but for your more intense vocabulary integration techniques, you want to definitely make sure the focus is on your tier 2 and tier 3 vocabulary words. And here's how you're going to implement it. Remember, I always give you strategies plus implementation. Now, you're going to use it definition, an example, and a non-example. That's your 3. Then you're going to use it 3 times within the class period. 3 by 3s. All right? 3 by 3s, you are. Vocabulary, quick, to the point, guaranteed to help you out when you get people using it with fidelity. Remember, I always tell you strategies, but again, it's not the same when you don't have that support, being able to help implement, but then also help to monitor. See, that's where people like me and other consultants like Doc and us, we come in and give you that support. We come in to help in that area, because I know, and you know, as the leader, as the principal, as the teacher, you can't see everything. You can't touch everything. Some things go awry, and that's why you bring proven people to help assist in those areas. All right, and the last one, I got a performance strategy for you all. This is going to help you boost your performance up all the way around the board. 5 by 5 by 5s. Gave you 2 by 10s, gave you 3 by 3. Now 5 by 5 by 5s. First off, it's going to play off your top 10. And remember, I've given you, we talked about top 10 in one of our classroom uniformity live streams from the past. So you can definitely go through the YouTube list and kind of see which one that is. I've reformatted those with the names of the show versus leading with the week. So it's easier to read, because we up in weeks now. We up week 53. So we up getting up now, and we're keeping going. So, but with that being said, you can kind of scroll through there and kind of see which ones add up to that. But your 5 by 5 by 5. So you're looking for, your look fors are those things that are in your top 10. And you're going to pick 5 of them, probably your objective, the task. You're going to look to see if there's any dialogue, visuals being used, and of course, an agenda or something like that, depending on what's prevalent and what's important and what you already have implemented in your school. Again, DIPP approach strategies, they fit in any school system. They fit in any school system. You know, I've had the opportunity to work in public, private, charter, community college, as well as senior college. So I know that these particular strategies work wherever you implement them. And remember, sometimes a different viewpoint is all we need. Sometimes a different viewpoint to add to what we already know, or what we think we already know, can boost us to another level. So you look for those 5 things. Those are your 5 look fors. You're talking about 5 minutes, and you're talking about 5 people. Now, superintendent, of course, you're going to do that with your principals. These are with your teachers. And teachers, you can do this with your students. You can do this with your students. and you're making contact, and you're boosting performance, and you're building on the relationship that you've already established with your people. So again, I'm gonna recap those: 2 by 10, 3 by 3s, 5 by 5s. You can write those down. You can take those to the book. You can implement those tomorrow and automatically start seeing an increase in your discipline culture, in your instructional practices, and your performance. Let's go. We provide solutions to help you get you out of school improvement, or to help you school improve. That's what we do. So that makes me happy, you all. Those performance boosters. So what principle are you going to commit to this week? I know I gave you a lot in a short time, you all, because we talked about quite a bit today. You know, being able to continue to learn from those things that we think we already know, those different viewpoints that add to it, starting with that. Gave you 3 crucial points under it. So make sure you kind of go back and hear some of it if you did not already. Then we came and gave a few crucial DIPP empowerment principles. And I didn't put them up because some of that is information that I use in my presentations and things of that nature. But take those notes. I gave you 4 or 5 different principles along with applicable strategies to help you be able to input what you need to. Then we came back, we gave you 3 different powerful strategies that you can implement tomorrow. Your 2 by 10s, your 3 by 3s, your 5 by 5 by 5s. Let's go, you all. I'm excited, you all. I'm so excited. And we've got a great month of October coming up. As we said earlier, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Just want to continue to make note of that. That is not something light. That's important. That's crucial. Also, Domestic Violence Month. All that is also still very important. We want to continue to raise the awareness for people around the world. People around the world. Everyone is not self-aware, so everyone is definitely not socially aware of some of those things that are going around. So we want to make that part of our duty as what we do as educators, as leaders, and who we are as people. So with that being said, I want to thank you all for your attention, but let me also let you know one thing before we go. Don't get out of here, you all. I gotta let you know this. We got the digital course. We got the digital course for the DIPP Approach for educators now. You need to make sure you get that. See, we go in depth on over 40 plus strategies that align with DIPP Approach mentality and DIPP Approach methodology. So I know what you need as leaders. I know those things that can enhance what you're already doing because I've had the opportunity to sit in those seats. So I'm thankful for that time. I'm also thankful that I'm in a position now where I can help you guys and offer support where necessary. But you won't lose in getting that digital course. That's the first of 3. Got the Empowering Education Community that's going to drop shortly, probably within the next month or 2 as well. And then the DIPP Approach for Student and Adult Success. So we'll have an entire 3 bundle package of digital courses. But I got this one here already ready. Make sure you check it out. Go to the link. If nothing else, go to it. Look at the modules. Make sure it see how it aligns with what those things that you're already doing. And we're just happy and proud to be able to put a product out that we know is going to be around and we know it's going to help educators forever. So you don't have to wait till you think that I've reached a certain plateau or the audience has gotten bigger to the point where we know it's probably going to get. Go and get on board. Get that DIPP Approach for Educator Success manual. Discipline culture plus instructional practice equals performance digital course. If nothing else, go to it and check it out. We're ready. You can't wait to get ready. You have to already be ready. You have to already be doing the work. Same thing with your data. Your data not just going to show up right. It's not just going to show up increased. Now you got to put the work in now every single day that leads to increasing that data, that leads to an improved school. And that's whether you're in a low performance school or a high performance school. See, I deal with more than just school turnaround. I deal with school improvement. I've had the opportunity to work in blue ribbon schools as well. So being able to see that perspective and also work in low performance school, I bring an added layer. And I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful that you all are here. Thank y'all for joining. Definitely continue to love, learn, and lead with your heart. Continue to go and seek wisdom until you find your true purpose. And continue to be courageous so that we can drown out all fear and be who we need to be in our educational spaces as well as our homes and community. Let's go. Thank y'all for joining. Have the best day. Love y'all so much.